today's video, we're going to talk about Iifym and contest prep.
All by myself.
What's going on, guys? It's Paul Revelia from ProPhysique.com coming to you live from the automobile. My man Chad is holding the camera, so do not worry. I am not multitasking. We are driving to the airport here in Boston, headed back from Cape Cod, and fresh on my mind with 5 competitors competing here in Boston and multiple other competitors competing this weekend. The topic of flexible dieting and contest prep is very relevant in my mind because I had a lot of conversations this weekend with other competitors, my clients, about the process. And so I wanted to convey what I actually feel contest prep dieting should look like. So let's first talk about how flexible dieting got started. It first came about because competitors were basically being forced to eat a meal plan of the same 6 or 7 foods for months at a time and not being able to substitute. So what happened was people started substituting. Now, what they substituted was turkey for chicken or peas for broccoli, you know, something like this. Maybe a potato for a sweet potato, rice for a sweet potato, things like this. What ended up happening was there was an overcorrection, meaning people were so crazy about the meal plans that they said, screw it, I'm going the other direction. And they started to only care about their macronutrients. If I can hit my macronutrient goals eating ice cream, Pop-Tarts, whey protein, and a fiber supplement, then why not, right? Well, here's why not. Because you're not gonna get there. It's not gonna be the best for your goals. So the real issue I've had with the term Iifym over the last couple years or two is that it's turned into an excuse to eat junk food. It's turned into a, let's see how much junk we can fit in and still hit our macros. That should not be the goal for contest prep. The goal for contest prep should be to come in the most muscle, the leanest physique possible. And to do that, you need to choose food sources that allow you to hit a nice wide macronutrient and micronutrient quality, hit your fiber, feel as satiated as possible, include enough that you have some food volume in there. And when you do that, then the meals are going to start to look similar. What I found with my athletes that I talked to this weekend, even though they all practice flexible dieting and they all look at their macronutrient goals, when the going gets tough and calories get low, you start to rely on foods that you're very familiar with, that keep you full, that digest well, and that allow you to have good energy throughout the day, good energy in the gym, and not be constantly hungry. One thing that happens, the leaner and the leaner you get, you do become more food focused and you become more sensitive to things like sugar. And so if you have something sweet, it can often set off this like ravenous hunger feelings of binges. And so what I've had to do with some of my athletes that have like large, 300, 400, 500 gram carb refeeds is say, listen, try not to have too much sugar in a single sitting, because that can then trigger a problem with your diet in the near future. We don't want that. Big picture here is not what we can get away with, but what foods fit best. Do not feel like you have to eat tilapia if you do not like fish. Do not feel like you have to eat chicken if you do not like chicken. But don't try to make excuses for fitting in a bunch of junk food just so you can look good for Instagram, because nobody cares about that on contest day, okay? What matters most is what's best for your goals. And if you're doing that and you can avoid binging or going off plan because you can fit in a snack here and there, or because you can interchange some foods from time to time, that's the real goal. I, as a coach, really try to impart flexible dieting, not just flexibility in macro selection, but flexibility in timing, flexibility from day to day, flexibility in being social. The term flexible applies not just to the food source, but also the way that you hit them and all of the basically things that go into a contest prep day-to-day life. You need to live your life. We don't compete. We don't get into contest prep, or we don't diet in a vacuum. You don't get to not go to work, not take care of your kids, not go to school, not take care of your responsibilities. It's all intermingled. So what we need to do is put a plan together, meal prep, and make following the diet as easy as possible. Don't try as often as you can to fit in a bunch of junk food, because all it takes is a single slip up to set your contest prep, your fat loss back several days, several weeks. And for the long haul, that's not what we want. Now, once the show is over, the diet is over, do we want to release and allow some freedom for food selection? Yes, because we want it to be sustainable. But remember, when your goal is to get on stage and win, you don't want any self-doubt. You don't want thinking on the day of the show, what if I hadn't overate that day? Or what if I'd have eaten these foods instead of these foods? You have to make the choice that's going to be best for you physiologically and psychologically. All right, that's going to be it for me today. A short video. We're about to the airport, so we're going to take care of business, get back home to Tampa, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
All by myself.